Hey, what's up guys and gals? My name is Rick9G. Thank you so much for joining me. We're going to be talking about The Lucy Show. More specifically about the episode from season 6 where Lucy meets the Berles. That is, Milton Berle and his wife. I'm going to go into this episode, talk a little bit about it, and then really show you the specific scene that I'm talking about where we're going to see the most amazing bloopers in probably the entire series. It's one of the greatest scenes in my opinion of this series because there's so many laughs. It's very reminiscent of the tango scene in the I Love Lucy show where all the eggs explode all over Lucy's shirt, blouse, and it's just yucky everywhere. Well, that's the yuckiness we see here, and I'm going to break it down for you and show you all the blooper moments in it. It's episode 133 of The Lucy Show, entitled Lucy Meets the Berles. Now in this one we have the guest cast of Milton Berle, of course, his wife, Ruth Berle, and Ruta Lee. So I want to make sure we make the distinction between Ruta Lee and Ruth Berle. They both have R names, RU names, that is. And so I don't want to make any mistake there. Ruta is, of course, playing a low-key type actress, and then Ruth Berle, of course, the wife of Milton Berle. Now, in the synopsis of this story, Mr. Mooney, of course played by Gale Gordon, allows Lucy time off from the bank to be a temporary secretary to Milton Berle, their very important client. Now, when Lucy overhears Milton discussing a love scene with Ruta Lee, she thinks that the two of them are having an affair, and it leads to a series of misunderstandings and a lot of funny moments. Now, I do want to add that this plot is very similar to one from season 1 of I Love Lucy. It's called New Neighbors, and Lucy accidentally overhears, on purpose, accidentally overhears the neighbors who apparently have a plot to take over the Capitol and assume their identities and so forth. And after all, they're just reading a script. Kind of similar here, although they replace taking over the Capitol with Milton Berle being a bit unfaithful in this episode, which of course is untrue. It's a total type of miscommunication, and it's done in a very funny way. The episode doesn't suffer in any way, but there's a scene at the end where Lucy is not only the secretary, but she's also making Milton Berle kind of a lunch, and she's making him a salad. Now, the salad that she is making him is, of course, just lettuce and a whole bunch of salad dressing. And what she does, because she's so upset at what she thinks Mr. Berle is doing in front of his own wife, she dumps that whole bowl of salad along with the dressing, the lettuce, and everything all over his head. And I want to talk to you a little bit about this physical act, about this physical prop that they use. Now, before that, though, I want to highlight that Lucy already met Milton Berle in episode 96 of The Lucy Show. It's called Lucy Saves Milton Berle. Now, logically, the two of them should not have been strangers. In this plot, in the one I'm talking about, the salad dressing episode, they're quote-unquote strangers. They're introducing themselves to each other. But in shows like I Love Lucy, there's a continuity, for the most part, in the story and the script. Now, we find in I Love Lucy that was a commonality, but in The Lucy Show, that's the opposite. Every episode kind of stands on its own and everything resets, so there's no prior knowledge of stuff other than Lucy knowing Mr. Mooney and of course Vivian and so forth. But other than that, the plots and who Lucy meets and doesn't meet, there's no continuity there, and it's just thrown out the window to make for scripts like this. So we do have to keep that in mind. I do want to talk about what Milton Berle thought about this salad scene. We'll just call it that because it's very important. While that's playing, I'll show you scenes and little snippets of the bloopers, which is essentially very simple. Everyone in the scene is cracking up, the four of them. That is Lucille Ball, Milton Berle, Ruta Lee, and Ruth Berle. They're all laughing, trying to keep a straight face at this salad dressing that's just dripping down the face of Milton Berle. The lettuce is coming out, tomatoes. It's just really funny, and it's really important to look at. The only one that really has a straight face the entire time is Lucille Ball. Everyone else cracks up at some point. The scene is a revelation that this is where Lucy is told, hey, this is all a script. We're just acting here. There's no unfaithfulness here. And it's supposed to be like, oh my gosh, I feel so bad about this. But the dialogue is lost in this scene and everyone just laughs hysterically, of course, including the audience. So I'm going to show this. But Milton Berle said that they never rehearsed with the salad on his head. Why? Because it was too messy. So the night of the filming, they were very surprised by what happened. The salad kept dripping down his face onto his glasses and kept dripping. It was like a constant flow that they didn't expect. Now, he said he was afraid to move because the more he did, the more it dripped, and it interrupted his dialogue and what he was trying to say. So he was wiping his eyes, his face. Pieces of lettuce would come out. He would pull them out. It was really hysterical for the audience. Now, he was aware that it was eating up time. That's the primary thing. They had to record everything and keep it within a length of time. And so he said that they had to finish the dialogue, but everyone was laughing, so it was really difficult. So both him and Lucy started yelling at one another to get the audience attention, kind of like, shh, be quiet, we have to finish the dialogue. It was awkward, but it worked so well. They were all professionals. Milton added that he got screams, laughter, and Ruta Lee herself added that they all started laughing so hard when that Thousand Island dressing came dribbling down Berle's glasses and he used his fingers as windshield wipers. That's when she said she almost peed her pants. That laugh went on forever. And it's absolutely a worthwhile episode to see. Yes, there's no Desi Arnaz, there's no Bill Frawley here. Essentially, there's no Vivian in the scene at all. But it's still hilarious because the premise is so funny. And to see Lucille Ball kind of screaming out her dialogue, there's a good reason for that. She's trying to get it all within the time frame. Then we see Milton Berle, everything dribbling down himself. Him being the pioneer professional that he was, couldn't hold it together. Of course, Ruth Berle being not so professional, she had a more difficult time, and Ruta Lee, it was just hilarious for her. And that's it, guys and gals. Thank you so much for enjoying this and looking at this scene, just filled with bloopers, constant hilarity of all these actors laughing. If you want to see more videos of The Lucy Show, let me know in the comments down below. Or the best way is letting me know by subscribing to the channel. It's absolutely free to do so. You just hit that subscribe button. It's all you need to do. You do it once. It's free to do so. Hit that thumbs up button. It lets me know and the YouTube algorithm that other people should watch my videos as well. It keeps me going, helps me to make more of these videos, so I do appreciate it. We'll see you next time, guys and gals. And don't forget, most importantly, be hopeful. Thank you so much to all the supporters I have on Patreon, especially my Diamond tier patrons. Vito L, Tommy G, Ricky, David D, Citizen Kane, Sally N, and Grace U. If you want to find more exclusive content, visit my Patreon page, links in the description.